Hi everyone, this is Marla Miller from marlamiller.com here at the Writer Magazine, offering our third or fourth Critique My Query. This one is a memoir, and without wasting any more time, I want to get to it. Also, please note that at the end of this column, where the query letter is posted, you can click on to Critique My Query forum. And the reason why we put that up is for anyone who has any afterthoughts about this query, please go over there and add them to the comment section, and I'll jump on and we can begin dialogue. So it doesn't stop here, it actually begins here. So I'd love to see many of you over at the forum once this posts. Okay, again, you can follow along because we post the letter as well on the site. And this is Memoir. And let me get to it. Dear Blank, Invisible Warrior is a memoir of my account of growing up in the experimental Bronx River housing project in New York in the 1960s, where expectations for success never rose up to the ideals created by project urbanist Charles Abrams. Built in 1951, the Bronx River Housing Project is located on nearly 14 acres consisting of 9 14-story buildings. Intended as a place to raise a family, the projects instead became a place of hopelessness, drug addiction, poverty, and other social ills. I was one of the fortunate ones, much like Sonia Sotomayor, also raised in the projects. I overcame numerous challenges and carved a successful life for myself. My book is a valuable historical account of growing up as an African American in New York, an insider's look into a housing project which yielded mostly failure. It is also an inspiring narrative that demonstrates that success is possible even under harsh conditions. Each chapter in Invisible Warrior looks at the trials from my youth, overcoming domestic violence, child bullies, and sudden deaths, as well as similar hardships endured by my neighbors. For instance, the Bronx River Project bears the cold reality of a mother discovering that her preteen daughter is pregnant. Blood on the Walls captures the reality of my stolen childhood innocence after witnessing my neighbor's domestic violence. Mule decries the devastation of my housing project through drug addiction and the consequence of the Vietnam era. I witnessed the lifeless bodies of heroin addicts frantically being coaxed to life and mangled limbs of the young men who returned from the war. Out of the Barrel maps my escape from the bindings of poverty. Escaping with 2 small children, an early pregnancy, and 35 cents, we proved our life possibilities and its glimmer of indistinguishable light at the end of a dark tunnel. I'm a healthcare specialist in radiologic technology in Richmond, Virginia. I'm also the spokesperson for breast imaging for Virginia Women's Center, appear on television, radio, newspaper, and have been quoted in many publications. My article, The Power of Caring on Domestic Violence, was recently published in a national medical journal. In addition, I am a member of the James River Writers who selected my work to be read at a recent conference. The enthusiasm and expertise I bring to breast cancer awareness is the same enthusiasm and insight I bring to Invisible Warrior. The book is a testament to survival, a rare triumph despite discouraging statistical odds for a young African American girl. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you sincerely. Okay. I like this. Um, I think that this query letter is, hold on just a sec. Okay. Okay, what do I think of this query letter? I think it's terrific. I think that it's obviously very timely, but I would make some suggestions to this author. I think that the power of the book begins in chapter 2 instead of chapter 1, and I would encourage her to consider an opening with chapter 2. It starts with my book. I would put the title of the book is a valuable historical account of growing up as an African American. You can also put is my valuable memoir accounting, or something like that. Okay, so here's what this query letter tells me. It tells me, number one, that this author has the chops to write it, because this is a very well thought out and written query letter, number one. So far so good. Number two, the content of this book I think is fairly clearly delineated. However, I think that she would be better served if she really pops these chapters out. And I would really focus on the provocative titles of her chapters, because each one obviously is going to tell a little bit of a different tale about this subject that readers will definitely want to know about. So she titles her chapters, which I think is an excellent idea, but I really would put that second chapter up front. Okay. Um, I was just at the Southern California Writers Conference, and we talked about how many credentials should a writer include in a query letter. My general reply is that you should only put in the creds that apply to the book that you are writing. Okay, but here's an exception. Here is a writer who has developed a platform, a speaking platform in breast cancer awareness. She mentions that, which doesn't really have anything to do with this book, Invisible Warriors, but it does. Because what it says is the speaking that I have brought, the platform that I've built for breast cancer, I'm going to apply all those tools to this book. So that tells the agent that this is someone that not only can write this story, but can promote this story. So in that case, I would definitely keep the credentials that define her as an expert in another field, because those credentials are very applicable to her marketing this book, Invisible Warriors, which is about the last thing that I want to offer in this query critique. I think she can do better with Invisible Warriors. Invisible Warriors really doesn't tell me anything about this particular story. And the phrase that I absolutely loved and I circled was bindings of poverty. And I would encourage this author to reconsider titling this memoir. Maybe not bindings of poverty, but give me something that resonates or thumps the fact that this is going to be a book about a girl's story from poverty to success. So I think that Invisible Warrior is just too vague. It could be anything, really. We want the title, especially in nonfiction, to be specific. We want that title to be so catchy that it will always be. Can you imagine on TV or when she's speaking, you say the title and everybody is reminded of what this book is about. Invisible Warriors doesn't remind us of what this book is about. So other than moving the second paragraph up to the top, I like the idea that she gave some history about the projects, of where it was supposed to, what it was supposed to do and what it did not do. Good stuff. And I wouldn't touch too much more of this query letter because I really like it, and I hope that this author touches back with us and lets us know which agents pick this up, because my guess would be she's going to get some attention. Okay, thanks, and until the next time, tune in. We're going to be doing these once a week, and again, go to Critique My Query forum here at the Writer Magazine, and let's continue this discussion. Thanks very much. Have a lovely day.